Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam McCullough outside Upton Park, and the team news is in, and that boy Toto Martial does start. I don't care if it's Marshall, Martial, whatever, he starts today. The full team news is David De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Blind, and Marcos Rojo at left back. The midfield three I've been crying out for weeks in Ander Herrera, Schneidlin, Rooney, and then of course Mata, Rashford who's back, and Martial who's back as well. On the bench, Sergio Romero, Cameron, Beckham, Jackson, Jones, Carrick, Lingard, Januzaj, and Memphis. So Memphis dropped to the bench after his poor performance at Norwich. Disappointed with him not starting again, as I would have kept faith in him, but happy with that team news. The team news is absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to call Dave over here. Dave, Irish Dave, what you make of the team news, mate?
Good, bar Marcus Rowe, obviously, because obviously I might have an agenda against him, but I think he's awful.
Just admitting he's got agendas against
I might have an agenda against Marcus Rowe, but I'm happy with the team overall. Like, it's the best team he could have picked, but now it's all about not bottling it, isn't it?
I think I agree with Dave there. I think it is the best team he could have picked, but I would have probably picked Cameron Borthwick-Jackson ahead of Rojo, who has looked poor recently, but happy with the team news. Schneidlin, Herrera, Rooney in that midfield. What do you think of that?
Well, we need a bit of tenacity, and that's what they bring. And you see, especially Payet cutting inside. I'd say Schneiderlin's going to deal with him. So hopefully we can have a bit of energy to finish off the season, because we are playing for Champions League football, which means so much to us at the end of the day.
Guys, while me and Dave have a little chat about the team, can you guys send your questions in and I'll answer a few of them at the end of this as well. The team news for you guys just joining us again: David De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Blind, Marcos Rojo, Herrera, Schneidlin, Rooney, Marshall, Rashford, and of course Mata as well. So Marcus Rashford is also back. Anthony Martial also back. How much did we miss them at the weekend?
Well, the link-up play between Martial and Rashford is going to be really important for us, because obviously you've seen the last game players like, I'm not sure who's starting for West Ham, but players like Tompkins and Reid couldn't deal with them on the break, and that's what we need again. As long as we've got more energy to run around players like Kouyaté and Noble, we're in with a chance. But then again, we haven't won 2 away games in the trot in about a year and a half. So hopefully we can do it.
Yeah, Marshall and Morgan, they are big players to have into the team. I'm looking for the West Ham team. I can't actually find it at the moment. We got a question?
Miguel, where's Fosu Mensah?
Where's Fosu Mensah? That's a good question, you know. Him and Memphis were in suits yesterday in a picture, weren't they? So were they at a party or at a Holland award ceremony or something? I'm guessing there. But maybe it's something to do with that, because Memphis is on the bench. Fosu Mensah isn't in the squad. Maybe Louis van Gaal allowed them time off to join up with the Dutch award ceremony. I'm guessing, yeah, because I saw Memphis and Fosu in a suit. So you guys let us know in the comments below. But the team news again, we're going to get more questions as well. David De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Blind, Rojo, Schneidlin, Herrera, Rooney, Marshall, Rashford, and of course Juan Mata. Juan Mata is coming for a little bit of stick recently for his performances, rightly so as well. He hasn't been great, but he got that winning goal against Norwich at the weekend. What do you think?
Well, him and Herrera do tend to link up quite well. It's like that link up passing, a bit of magic, especially against Norwich in the second half. But again, Mata needs to speed up a bit. And sometimes the thing is, when he drifts inside, what does happen with Mata is he tends to slow the game down, cross it in for no reason, and a lot of his crosses, because the first touch he always takes is inside, and he always crosses it into the back post, and most of the time those kind of crosses are not effective. But then again, when he roams around, he's out of position, and there's no one there to help out, especially with Valencia sometimes struggling to get back. You know what I mean?
Valencia's been good since he came back, hasn't he?
Yeah. Valencia's been good. Oh, Mike in the face. Yeah, Valencia's been good, to be fair, because you can see a bit of the old Valencia back. Remember in Fergie's second last season, he got about 17 assists because he was direct. He wasn't thinking about things. He's obviously doing the same thing as usual, not kicking the ball with his left foot. But that's another story.
What's your score prediction today?
Well, hopefully we can get 2-1, but I'm dreading a 1-1.
Yeah, I'm not confident for this one. I think it's going to be a score draw as well. A lot of emotion here surrounding Upton Park today, because if you haven't heard on the TV a million times already, it is the last game at Upton Park. So we're waving goodbye to what has been a historical, traditional Premier League venue. But you're going to miss it?
No.
What's your favourite memory of this place?
I'd say recently, to be fair, Van Persie's equalising the FA Cup. It was an unbelievable goal. Giggsy 60-yard ball over the top and just to finish. And you just see about 6,000 United fans going mental in that away end.
Mine is. Do you guys remember when David Beckham lobbed David James here? Does anyone remember that goal? I think it might have been around 2001, 2002. But first touch, chipped it, lobbed David James. That's my favourite memory. But also, Wayne Rooney scored a cracking goal from the halfway line as well. I'm going for a 2-2 draw today. I think it will be a score draw. That team news again for you guys. The team news is in. And the team news is as follows. David De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Blind, Rojo, Schneidlin, Herrera, Rooney, Martial, Rashford and Juan Mata are in the 11. Guys, we will be back after the game. We're also on Snapchat as well, so check us out at FT Devils. Are there any more questions for now before we go?
Ugant asks, what
Ugant.
do you think of Renato Sanchez today?
Well, I'll make the same of it as what I made when United were linked with him. I didn't know an awful lot about him personally. What I'd heard of had been good things. Maybe is that a sign that Jose Mourinho isn't coming to Manchester United? Possibly Jorge Mendes or George Mendes, whatever you want to call him, has then sold one of his players onto another club because Jose isn't coming, possibly. Or maybe we don't need to look at people like Renato Sanchez because we have the likes of Fosu Mensah who can play in central midfield coming through at the moment.
One more question from Robert.
Robert asks,
do you think the Marshall injury was a bluff by Van Gaal?
do you think the Marshall injury was a bluff by Van Gaal? I don't, because obviously he got pulled out of the Norwich game, so I actually think he did have an issue, but maybe leaving it touch and go up until the last minute could have played with Slaven Bilic's mind. So maybe he's kept his cards close to his chest up until the last minute, and now he's in the team. I am absolutely buzzing about that. I hope he is fully fit though, because I don't want him to pull up with another injury. We've got the Bournemouth game and we've got the FA Cup final coming up as well, so we need him fit for those games. Guys, thank you for joining us today. As I said, that team news again: David De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Blind, Rojo, Schneidlin, Herrera, Rooney, Marshall, Rashford and Mata. I think it's going to be 2-2. Dave thinks it's going to be
2-1.
Who's scoring first?
Herrera.
And a Herrera.
I like the unorthodox predictions.
I got slated. Dave, before we go, actually, remember the game against Norwich? I was sat next to you, innit?
Yeah.
I said Herrera was stood next to you. I said Herrera was man of the match, and a lot of people slated me saying he was poor for the whole game, but everyone around us kind of felt Herrera was one of our best players that day as well, didn't they?
I think on the TV you tend to see different things because you see a lot of replays and all that stuff, but a lot of the time in the stands we appreciate kind of energy and enthusiasm. Is something we didn't have because people were moaning, almost falling asleep in the first half. It was that bad. So he brought a bit of energy. He might have misplaced a few passes, but at least he tried, and that's what we appreciate.
Yeah, dog. Dave set the record straight right there. We're off now. Guys, thank you for joining us live. Check it out on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, FT Devils, Facebook, all of that. We'll be live after on Periscope as well. The link will be on Twitter after we do the fan cam. So make sure you check that out. It's all going on. And hopefully Manchester United will win today to leave it all in our hands going into that final game of the season against Bournemouth. And we could get top 4 at the expense of Manchester City. Pep Guardiola in the Europa League.
Imagine pissing on Pep Guardiola's parade. Will be mint, especially after they're set to do some sort of a domination.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. See you later, guys.